I'm not gonna make it! Oh god! Yes! No. This stream today is about being in a band and how to make it big and the brutal honest truth about it, okay? I'm going to say some stuff in this video you might disagree with. I'm going to say some stuff in this video that's going to upset you. And I'm going to say some things in this video that are going to make you go, I didn't really think about that. I've been in a band, or was in a band, for years. Absolutely years, okay? I have gone from very small to playing some huge shows, and I learnt so much along the way from so many different people, from so many different bands, from so many different production engineers, from so many different people all across the globe. And I'm going to share that information with you right here. So if you're watching this, chances are you're in a band, or you're thinking of starting a band, or maybe you're just interested in the life of being in a band and what it really is like. But if you are serious about making it big, this is the stream you want to be in, because I'm going to give you brutal honest truth on how to do it. And if you follow the methods that I'm going to show you, you've got more chance than anyone else of making it big in a band. And the reason for that is because there's a method to it. It's not impossible, and it's simple. It's just a matter of knowing the steps of what to do and when to do them. So let's start at the beginning. You've got a bunch of guys together, and you will get in a room and say, you know what, we're going to be in a band. The first thing you guys need to think about is, what are your music tastes? What do you guys like? What are the bands that you like? Before even picking up an instrument, you need to talk to each other. I was in a band with multiple different people along the way. We must have had about 12 people come in and out of our band easily, and everyone had a different background. They had a different genre that they loved, and they brought that element into the band. But at the same time, that was their passion, was to have a band that sounded like a particular band that they love. And that never goes away. It doesn't matter how long you stay in a band for, you will always want to be in a band that sounds like the band style that you love. The band that you're in can grow on you. You can love the sound of your own band. but you'll always have that in the background too, because if you get in there and you're sitting with a bunch of people and they're all like, okay, I really like pop rock, for example, and they're all talking about these bands, these pop rock bands, and then your bassist sits there and he's like, I love grindcore. It's not going to work, because your bassist is going to want to be in a grindcore band. He might be in your band for a bit, he might stay in your band for a couple of months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months down the line, he might stay in your band, but eventually he's going to join a grindcore band. I promise you. Again, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to hit you with the brutal, honest truth. You might not believe it. You might sit there and say, well, no, he's my best friend. He will leave for a band that he wants, because that's the sound he's looking for. He will try and push that into your band, which is going to cause conflict, because people are going to not like it. It might become amazing. He might add that element and he builds a brand new genre and you love it. There's a small percentage of chance that could happen, but the big percentage of chance is that he's going to leave and join a grindcore band. So you need to keep that into consideration, because when you're starting, you're not thinking about the end goal. What you're thinking about is a load of people getting in the room and let's have a laugh and play some music. Okay, so that's the first point, is getting you guys get together and starting to play. So you all pick your music up and you start playing the instruments. It's very important that you make sure that the people who are in the band, normally singers play lots of different instruments. That's just the way singers are. But you need to make sure that the instrument they're playing is their main instrument, because they'll either do one of two things. They'll either join another band to play the instrument they want to play, or they will try their very best to get to play that instrument. And you'll end up with a lot of different things. Number one, you'll find that every time there's a break in your band, that person will go and pick up that instrument that they really want to play. Now, you might be saying to me, why am I going on about this? People leaving your band and going to another one. Why does it matter? Why does it matter if he has 3 bands or 4 bands? If you're going to be serious about making a band and making a really good band, something that's you're going to be proud of, and something that you can put your name to and be really happy about, and all the achievements you're going to make, there is no other band. The band that you're in right now, the band that you're doing right at this second, is the band. If you're doing a side project, you need to decide whether that side project is more important than the band you're in, or vice versa. Because if it is, drop the band. Drop it and go and do the side project. Because it's going to get to a stage where you aren't going to have time to do another project. If you're trying to make it serious, if you're trying to make it big. If you're just doing it for a laugh, being 12 bands, being covers acts, do all kinds of stuff. Right, so you've got a band together, you're starting to play, everything's going alright, you seem to get some music down. As soon as you get some music down, the first thing everyone always says is, we're going to go out and gig. And normally, you want to go and gig at a place that you know. So let's say, for example, you go to a venue and you see a band that you love and you're like, I really want to play on stage on this venue because it means a lot to me. And then you get to you guys and you literally have wrote 5 songs and you're like, okay, we want to open up, but we're going to open up at this place because this is the place I really want to play at. No. Absolutely not. I do not care how good you sound in the studio. If you've got no experience on stage as a band, I'm not talking about one guy who's been in 6 bands, who's amazing, who's played 30,000 gigs. I'm talking about as a band, you are going to sound naff. Or you're going to sound great, but you're going to look really unconfident. And one person said to me, and it was one of the best lines they ever said, was the whole point of being in a band and performing live is to make the audience feel comfortable about what they're watching. If the audience can relax knowing that your band knows what they're doing, then they will enjoy the show because they're not worried about how if you know what you're doing. So that is the goal, is to portray the fact that you know what you're doing. You're an experienced band. You guys just have to relax and enjoy the sound that we're going to make. And that can be from your body language, it can be the way you communicate with the crowd, it can be the way that you look at each other. If your guitarists are looking at each other what they're playing the whole show, that shows there's no confidence. They need to see each other physically to know where the timings are, where the cues are. All this will be picked up by the crowd. And I tell you what, don't expect feedback from the crowd. Again, brutally honest on this video. Do not expect feedback off the crowd. If you come off that stage and you walk up to your crowd and you say, how did I do? And a load of people are like, oh man, you were like the best thing I've ever seen, man. It blew my mind. They're never going to say to your face, they're never going to say that. Ever. The only people who can judge how you did is you. Which leads me into another thing. If you play a show, it doesn't matter where you play it, and you have no record of playing that show, but the fact that 5 or 10 or 30 or 20,000 people showed up to that show, you might well have not done the show. Now you might be sitting there thinking, what do you mean? What did a show? I was live. I played in front of 20 people. They all loved it. 5 of them people added me on Facebook. You might as well have not done that show. Because there's no recollection of the show. There's no videos. There's no photos. There's no media. There's nothing. Which means once that show's done, there's nothing to even show that you even did that show. It's done. It's finished. You might as well just wipe it off the list and go, never done it. So, let's say you guys have been in a band now, you've written your first song, your first 5 songs, and you want to go and play. My advice to you would be to play a venue that is unknown. A quiet venue with maybe a band that you know, but it shouldn't be a big gig. It should be a small show with a small collective of people. Because you need to find yourself. You need to go up there, try your equipment out, realise you get crazy amounts of feedback because you haven't got a noise gate. Find out that your amp sounds absolutely naff through the PA. Find out that your singer was using an auto-tune in the studio and he can't sing for toffees. Find out that your drummer's seat falls to bits. Find out that travelling with your gear is a absolute nightmare because you can't get it all in one car. It's better that you book a gig that's so small that you're not bothered about to go and do all that, because then when you find all them problems, when you're ready for the big show, you already know what to do because you already experienced. You go, well, last time we did this, we couldn't get the drums in the car. It took us 25 minutes to figure out how to get them in. Now you know how to get them in, so you can just do it, and it'll take you 5 minutes, which means you're not in a rush. When you get to a proper gig, a big gig, the way to annoy the venue is to not turn up for sound check on time. And when I say on time, I'm talking about an hour before sound check. I'm not talking about 10 minutes before the door opens or 20 minutes where your sound check is. I'm talking about an hour before, because you need to be there before the sound guys get there. Because if you're not, you're instantly going to fall out with them straight away. I promise you, it will not go well for you. If the sound guys like you because you're genuinely nice people and you help them carry in their equipment and you talk to them, they're going to make you sound awesome that night. And remember that the sound guy is your friend, because he can prick one button and you can sound awful all night. Doesn't matter how good your gear is. If he presses one button, you sound naff. So it's very important that the guy on the desk likes your band. So go out of your way to go up to the sound guy, introduce yourself, talk to him, and genuinely be nice. Some sound guys are going to be like looking down, they're not going to be interested, they're not going to want to be bothered. But I guarantee you, if you bring him over a pint, a drink of water, or just say hello, they're going to remember you. And when they see you on stage, they're going to think, do you know what, I'm going to do a good job for these guys. I'm going to put a bit more lights on for them because they were really nice to me. Or they helped me carry in that really heavy amp. It goes a long way. Okay? Let's talk about recording. you've got your band together, you start hitting recording, okay? You think you're going to record in your bedroom with 5 mics and hit out a great single on whatever you want. You got no hope. Is my answer. You'll get a CD. It'll sound alright. Drums will be, triggered to hell. You'll be using, some band Machine Head's drums or whatever. And your guitars will all sound really, really digital. And there'll be nothing to it. So let's say you do that. Let's say you do that, guys. Okay? So you're sitting at home. You're all in a bedroom. You've got a guy who's really good on computers, really good at recording, and he whacks you out this nice CD, okay? It sounds sick. It's digital, there's no life in it whatsoever, because you're doing it in a not a studio, you're doing it in your bedroom, okay? But it sounds sick because you've got Machine Head's drums, you've got Pantera's guitaring, the vocals are auto-tuned to hell, so he's in pitch all the way through it. It sounds amazing. And your guitarist missed a few notes, but it's fine. You just cut them off, and you've just made it crisp. It is the crispest thing ever, okay? And you're sitting there with your sound guy, and you're sitting with him, and he says, okay, so what amp do you want? And you're like, do you know what? I want a PV6505. Great. He presses 2 buttons. You got your sound you want. The sound of your dreams. What do you think is going to happen when you've got that CD? Let's say you put it out for free. Is people come along and they listen to that CD and they think, we're going to book these. And you get booked in the venue you've always dreamed, and you're headlining. You're headlining the show because you sound amazing. And you rock up there with practice amps and a drum kit that's got a hole in one of the skins. And I guarantee you, not one person there is going to be happy about it, because your CD sounds absolutely nothing like you. Use your amps in the making of the songs. You can tweak them a little bit. Everyone always has a note that they miss or anything, or they want a little bit more harsh sound, or they want a different tone, so they use 2 amps that overlap each other. That's fine. But be honest. Use your equipment as part of the recording, because that's what they're going to hear, is the equipment that you've got, not the equipment that you've magically made appear by pressing 3 buttons. Okay? It makes a huge difference if you sound like you do on the CDs live, if not better live than you do on the CDs. If you're thinking of starting a band and you want to go big, and I mean really big, you're going to have to spend money. And I'm not saying £100 or £200 or £1,000. I'm talking serious cash. You've got to think you've got to buy your gear. Your gear's got to be good quality. There's no point otherwise. You're going to sound naff. To consider travel. There's no point in playing the same place over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's not going to do your band any good. And unless you've got record of that gig loads and loads of times and you can make it look like different venues, there's no point. It doesn't do you any good. Yeah, you get a great following. You get 140 people from that city who come and see you every single time you play. Great. But them 140 people will go and see another band one day, and you're going to be screwed because you're going to have never opened up to anyone else. You've got to be prepared to travel. You've got to be prepared to travel to the main cities in your area. So you've got to put travel into consideration. You could do with doing tours in different places in the world. Be prepared. That's going to cost money. I'll tell you now, if you want to be big, you're going to have to look at buying on to a tour. If you want to play with somebody like a huge band, you have to pay them to be on the tour with them. And it's not cheap. You're looking at like a lot of money there. They don't just go, oh, it's fine, you can support us. Of course you can. It happens sometimes at local venues, but it's rare. Most of the time, when a band comes to town, a big band, They will come with their own support. Which brings me on to another point. The venues. Now, most people in bands think they get the opportunity to play a venue. They get a support slot at the Sugar Mill, or a mid-range shot slot, or a headlining slot at the Sugar Mill, okay? They rock up on the day. They got their tickets in the hand, the ones that the companies give them, and they go and stand at the door, and they're holding those tickets, and they're like, "Do you want a fiver? Do you want to come in? Here's fiver. Come in. No, that's not how it works, guys. If you're gonna make a name for yourself, all the people who come through that door need to be coming for your band. And the only way they're going to come for your band is if you've already sold the tickets before you even step up to that venue. This is, I can almost hear people already in my ear. You can't do that, we can't sell the tickets, blah blah blah, it's so hard. I've heard it all before. I did hundreds of gigs. Hundreds. And every time we headlined a show, we sold all of the tickets. Pretty much all of them. Every single time. The difference was we were all selling them. And we all had it in our heads we'd got to get rid of them all. You've got 5 people in the band, 3 people or 4 people. Doesn't matter. Everyone has an equal amount of tickets and they sell them tickets. I don't care if you buy them yourself. I don't care if you buy them and give them out to your friends. I don't care if your granddad and your auntie and your uncle pay for one. I don't care. How you do it, you're going to get rid of all them tickets. Because when you rock up to that venue and you go, "We sold all the tickets, here's the money," I guarantee you that venue is going to remember you. It doesn't matter how good that headlining band is, if you're supporting. That headlining band, if they've only sold 10 tickets and you've sold every one of your tickets, I guarantee you that venue will remember you. And everyone in that venue is coming for you because they know that you are the one who sold the tickets. So you've already won. You are already the best band of the night in the view of the promoter and in the view of the crowd before you've even picked your instruments up. So that venue, then when 2 weeks goes along and a big supporting band comes into town and it's a big band, they're going to look down the list and go, "Well, they sold all the tickets." Of course they are, every single time. So it's very important that you do sell all the tickets they give you. Support other bands. There's so much conflict between bands that when you do support another band, it makes a huge difference. We made so many friends from being friendly with bands. And you want to try and find bands who are the same kind of genre, because I promise you, if you're nice to one band and they are higher up than you or lower than you, you're going to make a friend forever, and they will think of you when they've got something good coming up. And they'll say, "Do you know that band, they were really nice to us?" People think that once they've done a gig, once you've done a show, you've done one show, that's it. You rock up to the show, whether you've sold the tickets or not, doesn't matter. So you'll not sell the ticket, whatever. You go up, "I'm a big guy, I've got it, that's right." You go play guitar or you sing or whatever, and you finish the gig, and it's great. You had a really good gig, really good. Well done you. They go home and they sit down and then do nothing. Absolutely nothing. What happens? I'll tell you exactly what happens. Nothing happens. You're not going to get more likes on your page. It's not going to happen. You might get a couple. You might talk to somebody and they might get a couple of likes. You might get another gig. If you did a good job at that gig, they might say, "Hey, do you want to come back and play another show?" Great. But unless you promote the show that you've done with videos, graphics, banners, backstage videos during the show, chatting about it, promoting your next shows, unless you're on Facebook all the time pushing your stuff around, and on Twitter and all social networks, and I mean all the time, between all 5 of you, there's no excuse, or all 3 or 4 of you, there's no excuse. Somebody can be on there doing something on the page. You should be updating it daily. Here's another point for you, and this will make you think. How many times have you gone to see a band and you've finished the show watching a band, and then you've said to your mate, what was that first band called? I really like them. What were they called? And your mate's going, well, I don't know. They're good though, weren't they? How many times has that happened to you? When you're on stage and you're an unknown band and you're doing your own music, you've got 1 hour at max. You've got 1 hour for them to remember who you are. Now, a lot of people will start off and they'll go, hi, we are White Noise Theory. Welcome, guys. By song 2, they've forgotten your band name. So, you need 2 things. You need 1, something that they can pinpoint with your stuff to talk about you. So, for example, say your drummer has light up sticks, or your singer wears a cloak, or your guitarist has pink hair. All of those things are things that people can pick on, and they can say, oh, do you know that band, that second one, the one with the guitarist with the pink hair, the one with the guy with that light up sticks, the one that the singer he had like a hood on. Anything like that will make them remember. If you rock up there wearing a band hoodie and you're all looking exactly the same with a band hoodie, and none of you stand out whatsoever in any way whatsoever, and you're using the house drum kit, I guarantee no one knows who the hell you are. And when you finish, no one will know who the hell you are. It doesn't matter how many times you've said your band name during that set. It doesn't matter if you've got a huge banner behind you that says your band name. People think that instantly will let them know who you are. It's okay. I did a test once, right? We headlined this show. We had behind us a banner that said White Noise Theory. That was the name of my band. Big banner. Huge. It's absolutely huge. We had it behind us. Okay? And at the end of the show, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a test here, because I believe that what I'm telling you now is the case. So I got off stage at the end of the show, and I got down to the thing, and I put my guitar away, and then I literally just put a black hoodie on. I went down to the crowd, and I stood next to the people who'd just been watching us, who'd been, 20 feet away from me. And I went and stood next to them, and I said this line. What did you think of the headlining band? They looked me straight in the face and said, yeah, they were alright. What were they called again? Not one person in that crowd, just because I changed my t-shirt, knew I was just in that band. And it was only 5 minutes before that they'd been watching me and jumping up and down and trying to play my guitar this far away from my face. But not one person knew I was in that band or the name of the band after I'd come off stage. People don't remember. They remember what you sound like and what they're doing. They're there for a good time. What they're thinking about is, this is cool, I can dance to it. That's it. That's all they're thinking. So if you want to be remembered and you want people to notice you, you're not going to do it in the venue. What you're going to do is after you finish the gig. You want the videos, you want the merchandise, you want all the other stuff, because that is going to make them remember you. But if you put a video up of that gig, they're going to say, oh, I was there, because they'll see the video. And they'll go, oh, that's me in the crowd. Repetition. Why does everyone know Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses? Everyone knows that song. You literally play the first line of it, everyone knows what it is. Is it because the band's huge? But do you think they were huge when they started? Do you think anyone knew that song when it first started? Nowadays, the music industry, and I'll tell you this right now, and it's going to crush your dreams and your hopes, and I'm very sorry, is built on money. They do not give a care in the world. Do you think the guy who's on Radio 1 or Radio 2 really loves that song that he's playing every single day for 3 weeks? But do you know why he's playing it? because they've paid them an absolute fortune to be on there. There's so many limitations to being on a radio station, and I will go over them now for you, because we met them all. I'm not telling you this stuff with no experience. Everything I'm saying to you right now, I have been through. And I'm telling it you because we suffered, because we had no one to tell us what to do. We had no one to help us. We had to do it on our own. We had to learn by mistakes. So number one, if you come out with an amazing song, and we did it loads of times, and I tell you what, and it's a 7-minute song, it's an absolute monster of a song, and you've got all your favourite riffs in it, and it's amazing, and you're like, oh my god, this is like amazing. I promise you, you will never hear that on the radio. Because the radio will only ever play your song if it's under 3 minutes and 20 seconds long. Anything over that, it's CD only. This is how the radio business works. They have 2 hours, okay? And in the 2 hours, it's set what they have to play. They get about 20 minutes. They can pick whatever they want in that 20 minutes. It has to be in the guidelines of the radio, but for 20 minutes, they can pick what they want. So they've got 20 minutes, and in that 20 minutes, they want to get in as many songs as they can. Are they going to pick yours that's 7 minutes long? Or are they going to pick tons and tons of 2-minute songs? Exactly. And that's exactly what they do in the music industry. They will throw the same song at you till you hate it, and then take it away from you. So you go and buy it. And that is exactly what they do. Then when they take that song away, you find that like you hear it somewhere and you automatically know all the words, and you're like, oh, I kind of like this. But you don't remember why. It's because you've heard it a million times on the radio. Essentially buying into repetition. And that's exactly what you need to do with your band. You need to be throwing your band, whatever you're in, at people in loads of different ways. You need to be doing... Here's another thing, and I've seen this a few times, okay? You're in a band. You make your first album. 5 songs. It's 5 songs. You guys are super psyched. You've paid money for this 5 songs. You've paid for the studio time. You've paid for the mastering. Okay, so you've got a music video, you've got song, and you've got graphics. In total, let's say you've paid about £900. That's the reality of how much it costs to make your first CD. About £900. You might be saying, wow, that's a lot of money. I made mine for 20. But did you get the guy who was producing it to master it? Did the guy who produced your songs use backing tracks and like triggers? Did the guy who did your graphics, did he do anything unique, or was it just a slap together thing? Is the printing quality of your CDs, are they very good? Are they rubbish? Are they in a plastic thing? Do they even have a case? Are they just a disc with nothing on it? Well, if the answer's no, if your CD doesn't look like your favourite band's CD, why should I take you seriously? Why should anyone else take you seriously? If you're not serious yourself, why do you listen to the big bands? Is because the stuff's quality. And that's what they sound like when they go and see them. So, if you don't sound like you do on the CD, and your CD looks like ass, it's not gonna happen, guys. No one will take you seriously. Nowadays, you don't actually need the CDs. But why I'd say you need the CDs is because you're gonna make money on sales. T-shirt sales. You will make money on your merch. I promise you, you will not make money being in a band from playing gigs. I promise you won't. And you want to know how I know you won't do it? If you're in a covers act, you'll make a fortune. If you want to make money from being in a band, stop the band. Get out of original bands, get in a covers act. Start doing Metallica, start doing Iron Maiden, start doing Led Zeppelin. Get out of an original band. you'll never make money. You will make money if you hit it big. But if you've talked to anyone in a huge band, if you've actually had a connection with anyone, or you've watched interviews with a huge band and they're being honest, nearly all of them are skint, unless they're a rap band or a pop band. If you ain't one of them, if you're a rock band, metal rock, or any of gent stuff or anything like that, you ain't gonna make no money. You're doing it for the fun of it, for the passion of it, to see how big you can get, to show your art to people around the globe. That's why you're doing it. If you want to make money, become a rapper. Become a pop rock thing. Get yourself a gimmick. You know, get yourself a funny gimmick that people will latch onto. Why do you think Mummy Shark, Daddy Shark did really well? But it's funny. It's a gimmick. It's a joke. People got behind it. It got huge. I have a pen. I have an apple. Apple pen. Massive. Went huge. It was a gimmick because it was funny. That is another way to go about it. If you're not in it for the money and you're not in it for the fame, then don't play a venue where you're going to play to no one. Play a venue where you're either going to sell all the tickets so you know you're going to fill the place, or play a venue where you know there's going to be a crowd. Because there's nothing worse than rocking up to a show that you've been waiting 5 days to play, and you're really hyped, and you get up on stage, and this is what happens at most of the gigs I've been to. All the people come for the main band. They will watch the band that they've come for, and they will leave the door. You'll go up, play your set to no one, and then they'll all come back in for the main band, and you'll play to two guys at the bar. I'm gonna bring that to an end. I'm gonna say that that's the end. I'm gonna open up to questions. If you want to ask me any questions about the bands that I was in, or anything that I saw on the road, some of the people I played with, what to do, what not to do, I will literally answer any question you want.